from Feel Your Core. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, if you like what you see here, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share with a friend. Fitness is always more fun with a buddy. All right, so we're going to hop right into some transverse abdominis work today. That's going to be that deepest layer of abdominal muscle. We're going to take that into pelvic rocks and then into some articulating bridges. I love this little routine as a warm-up before any of my workouts. All right, so let's get going. So I'm always starting with a little bit of breath, not a little bit of breath, a lot of breath. Inhaling, feeling my abdominals, the muscles of my trunk expand front to back and side to side. I like to call that 360 breathing. And then as I exhale, feeling how my body kind of likes to just spread and ease out onto the mat. So I like this breathing to just settle and get centered. Centered, not censored. And to really find out what's going on in my body. By just like breathing deeply, it can you might find that you get subtle adjustments through your body, and some things may zing or throb, and it's a good opportunity to just body scan and find out what's up going on there. I'm going to go from just this breathing to slowly moving with my breath. So like I like to tell clients, like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 I'm going as hard as I can, and I probably only have 2 or 3 reps, and then 1 not doing anything. That for my pelvic rocks, I'm usually at like a 5, okay? So before I get into those though, we're gonna work on that TVA, that transverse abdominis. You're gonna see a couple of visuals come up as we go through and explaining a bit what the transverse abdominis is and what it does as I keep breathing here. So again, it's that deepest layer of abdominal muscle. I like to call it the corset. That works really well with my female clients. Some people don't like that, and if you don't like it, just let that go and figure out what it is to you. But I like the imagery of corset because when I think of a corset, it goes all the way around the trunk. And as you tighten that corset, and I tighten it with my breath, then it cinches in the waist. It supports the low back. It supports your internal organs. And so now I'm going to start working on that activation. So there's a couple ways to go about this activation. My favorite one is thinking about my hip bones. And as I exhale, I draw my hip bones towards my belly button. So I'm going to try to lengthen this out so you can see it. Here, I'll take my hands up here so you can see it. So I inhale, exhale, and I draw my hip bones to my abdomen, to my belly button. I'm a fan of tactile touch, so sometimes I'll put my hands on my hip bones and move there. So if you could see through like my arms and my hands, you saw a little pelvic rock. I wasn't even trying to do that. And you can see my pelvis just draw under. So I'm not actively engaging my glutes because sometimes that's what happens in the pelvic rock, really bear down on the glutes. But what I'm trying to do is activate transverse so that it takes it back and kind of lengthens it down as the muscle comes and again kind of holds my guts in. Another way to think about it, if that's not for you, is zipping up a pair of pants. So I'll do that now. Zipping up a pair of pants. Okay, see if we can see that again. Zipping up a pair of pants. And then another way, I was taught this by one of my mentors, Nikki Stewart, is thinking about, I like to think of it like as a Hercules down and through the pelvis. So I like to think about tucking in like an ab shirt. Like if you ever see one of those shirts that have abs like spray painted on them and you're tucking in your shirt. I'll try that now. And again, I think you might be able to see that pelvic rock that happens. So again, I say those three different ways, right? Because there's more than one way to cue. There's the down and through the pelvis again. I am very careful though with clients when cueing down through the pelvis because you really have to be able to understand that the breath continues to flow and that you're not bearing down. Okay, you don't want to bear down. You want to hold and brace. We want those abdominals to go in because they're muscles of expiration, and so they're actually helping you breathe out. So if you're breathing out, your belly isn't going up, it's going in, okay? And that kind of 4 to 5, maybe 5 to 6 degree like intensity is all you really need to just breathe and find that pelvic rock. So now I'm just gonna focus on the pelvic rock with the breathing. So there's the rock. And this is just me. So using the abdominals as like a 5 or 6, you'll see this movement more, right? But it's a natural movement. I inhale, you'll see a little lift, a little arch in my back, a little lift in my chest, belly. And then when I exhale, you'll see the back lengthen, my tail curl under, okay? And then the next piece is taking this into your articulating bridge. So inhale, exhale, let it slide under. And then now I'm peeling up off the mat. I'm pressing my heels and the balls of my feet into the mat, reaching my knees forward over my toes, sending my tailbone towards the back of my knees or the back of my calves, and just trying to make a long line from the shoulders all the way through the knees. And when it's time to come down, I let the glutes go. So hopefully you saw that. And then I'm rolling down. I like to say I'm using my abs as a pie roller and rolling down bone by bone. Let's do that again. So there's more than one breath cycle here. Inhale, exhale, rock and press through my whole foot to curl up. Now, when I get up here, I need my glutes, right? Glutes are muscles of hip extension. So you want to feel this nice line here. You can even put your hand here and make sure there's no crease. Still reaching my knees that way. So I'm talking to you, so I'm breathing here, right? Inhale and exhale. When it's time for me to come down, I like to take an inhale, breathe into my back a bit since it's not pressed against the ground. And then exhale, reach the knees that way, pie roller, rolling down my back, bone by bone by bone. We'll do one more of those. Big inhale. Exhale. Feel the rock that initiates that. And then I'm really getting into the glutes when it's time for hip extension. So I'm not hyperextending my low back. I'm making sure I have hip extension. So nice flat hip crease, reaching the knees over the toes, reaching energetically the crown of my head and the back. So I've got this nice opposition, space between the vertebra, weight in the backs of my arms and in my whole foot and the backs of my shoulders, upper back. Inhale, exhale, keep reaching my knees forward, crown of head back. There's an inhale to exhale down. Remember, there can be more than one round of breath, and then I'm down. So quite honestly, not only does that feel amazing, especially after a long day of sitting, but it really, it really warms up, fires up the abdominals. It works some beautiful mobility through the back. And then you also get to feel your glutes working. So again, a really good warm up and cool down to any kind of work you're doing. And we'll be back with more building on that. Again, it's more of a foundational practice to really be able to get into the core, being able to feel it stable, and then the mobility of being able to move it around. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you did, please like and subscribe and share with a friend. We'll see you next week. Bye.